Next is the Right Honorable Raila Odinga with his national ID.
The process of pushing for critical changes in the constitution enacted in 2010 has begun in earnest after CORD launched the collection of at least 1 million signatures of registered voters as required in the amendment of the constitution through the popular initiative route.
Next is His Excellency Kethi Kilonzo.
And two presidential candidates who failed to capture the country's top job last year have also joined the referendum campaign.
Mother Karua.
Kenya leader Karua was at the historic Ufungamano House during the launch of the collection of signatures, while Peter Kenneth of the Kenya National Congress was represented by Ronnie Osumba, who was his running mate in the March 4th polls.
We have come to a new dispensation, and quite a number of people still have the old mindsets. That's why a government can say, we don't need your views, we are in charge. You are in charge, but the Constitution says you must listen to the views of others. Nobody disputes that you are in charge. You may be the one doubting whether you are in charge because...
And when we finally got a Constitution that replaced the old one, many felt tumishinda, lakini tulishindwa because it has not been implemented fully.
CORD under the OKOA Kenya banner has identified 4 issues that will drive the referendum agenda. They are raising the threshold for allocations to county governments from a minimum of 15% of the national revenue to at least 40%, land reforms, electoral reforms, and enforcing inclusivity and equality in sharing of public service jobs and development resources.
And for those who have been calling others names, in the hope that this matter can go to Parliament and use the tyranny of numbers, we remind them to read the Constitution again. That Parliament has no capacity or ability to stop this movement. It's for the people of Kenya.
You must refuse to be afraid. We must tell the President he has no power to do what he's doing on matters of land, to follow Ngilu, who has refused to respect the provision of the Constitution as far as the National Land Commission is concerned.
The OKOA Kenya referendum initiative coincides with the push for key changes to the constitution, specifically on the implementation of devolution, being spearheaded by the Council of Governors. But the CORD leadership hopes to join forces with the county bosses.
Our call for referendum has got a much broader agenda, devolution being one of them. But we go beyond devolution, and we're dealing also with issues of land. We're also dealing with issues of constitutional commissions and also inclusivity. So we do hope that somewhere along the road we will merge.
But the government remains opposed to the referendum agenda advanced by the opposition leaders.
We have worked for this constitution. We've only had it for less than 1 year and a half. Na sasa tunataka kuibadilisha. Jameni, tutaibadilisha hiyo, alafu tubadilishe maneno, umaskini uendelee kujaa, tufanye kazi.
Kenyatta says his government had allocated to county governments more resources than what the constitution required it to.
And we are saying huko ati sasa tunataka tuende tufanye sijui referendum ati kwa sababu tunataka kuongezwa pesa. Why don't you first manage what you have properly?
The Jubilee Coalition hopes to lobby members of the county assemblies to shoot down the 2 referendum bids, as well as use its numerical strength in the 2 chambers of parliament.
The Council of Governors have seen that members of the county assembly are going to help them. Now, if I am to strive that referendum and I do not know the contents of the referendum, when I'm asked questions by wananchi, what should I give?
The OKOA Kenya initiative leaders are confident that they can be able to collect at least 5 million signatures to back the referendum petition. However, they must also convince at least 24 out of 47 county assemblies and either the National Assembly or the Senate to back the proposed changes to the constitution before the matter can be referred to Kenyans for the final say in a yes or no referendum. Francis Gachuri for the Citizen Business Center, Ufungamano House, Nairobi.